What's good? What's poppin', you guys? And welcome back to Toyosi TV. So if you guys did watch the previous video, which was me moving out of Indy, this is the video that I did state in that video that I was gonna sit down and talk to you guys about as to why I actually moved out of Indy. Prior to me moving out from Indy, a lot of people noticed on my Instagram that I was back in New York, and a lot of people been asking me questions like, oh, how long you gonna be in New York? Are you back in New York temporarily? Are you here permanently? Like, what's the deets? So I just thought to myself, why don't I just let y'all know the tea about what's actually going on and why I moved out from Indy. For y'all that's been rocking with me since last year August, y'all would have known that I moved to Indy for my job, my full-time job. Let's get into the first reason why I took a break from Indy. Mind you, I'm still working for the same company that I moved to Indy for. So right now we're doing remote work, so I couldn't work from New York. But at the same time, when we gotta go back into the office, I gotta move back into Indy. For the question that everybody's been asking me, I'm not permanently in New York right now. I have to go back to Indy when we go back into the office. So now I'm just taking the time to just work remotely in New York. But I'm still working as if I have the job in Indy. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. So one of the reasons why I left Indy to come back to New York to work was because of the apartment that I actually lived in. Now, I did mention it in the last video what it was called. It's called Salon at the Crossing. I'm gonna just say that because if somebody wants to move to Indianapolis and is looking at this apartment, let me just tell you right now, it's a damn catfish. On God, it's a catfish. Because the thing about it was, I was looking at apartments in Indy during COVID, so they only had virtual tours. So that was the first mistake I did wrong, because I should have went in person and actually went to go see the place myself. I did not like the place once I got there. I mean, I love the island, I love the apartment, but getting that apartment was hell. The leasing agent was disrespectful, and respectfully, I had to leave that place. Like, it was just so much disrespect I was getting from that leasing agent, from when I first was talking to him, to when I got there, to when I was living there, to when I left. It's just ridiculous. All of that whole management office is trash. I was welcomed with a dead bird on my porch. Mind you, I thought we was gonna have a big porch. I didn't get a big porch. I got like a small little, like 1 foot porch. It was really disgusting, and to be honest, I felt that was disrespectful, because I'm pretty sure you guys inspected this place multiple times. So for y'all to not catch that dead bird before I walked into that crib is disrespectful. So that was one thing, that was the first thing that got me tight. Second thing was, I moved in 2 days before my start date on the job, which was the worst, because we had to work from home. I relocated to Indy to work from home from Indy. It doesn't make sense to me to this day, but that's what happened. For y'all that's trying to move out of your mama's crib, let me just let y'all know this. Furniture ain't cheap. The couch is gonna be expensive, your side table gonna be expensive, your desk is gonna be expensive, your TV gonna be expensive. It's really expensive. So while I was on the job, I was stressed out about getting furniture. I didn't have a bed until like 2 months after I started. It was bad shit crazy, bro. Like, it was crazy. And then another thing was that, so the management office, Salon at the Crossing management office, had the key. If they sent out a message saying like, oh, we need to get the fire extinguisher, and if you're not home, we will come into your house and take it. And it's like, why do y'all have the key to everybody's apartment? I understand if somebody's locked out of their apartment, but if you need to get something out of somebody's crib, like, you need to understand that if they're not there at that specific time, what gives you the right to go into their house to go get their fire extinguisher or something like that? When I left Indy back to New York during like the holiday season, because all of my coworkers went back home, most of my coworkers went back home during the holiday season just to spend time with family. They went into my crib and renovated it. They really disrespectful, and they really on a different type of time because they got the right one. They thought they had the wrong one. No, you had the right one, because I had to set it off and I sent the email. Let me tell y'all something. If there's one thing you're gonna learn from this video, is always email the management office so you have records of what happened. A written complaint is better than an oral one, okay? Because you're gonna have that on record, and if you need to sue them or do something else, you have that on file. So the apartment was nice. Like, up the block, like literally 2 minutes away was the mall. Up the other way, you had like Broad Ripple, and you had like other places that, you know, a lot of teen or college students go to, or young adults go to, which is fine. But the problem was the management, you feel me? And they just got me tight. I remember I contacted them because it was like, I told you, I worked from home. The tenants upstairs, they kept knocking. I'm telling you, at like 9 o'clock in the morning, just banging as if they been Like, bro, why y'all stomping on y'all floors? Like, you don't understand somebody lives below you? I contacted them. They like, oh, they have the right to do that. If they do it after 6 p.m., that's when you can make a complaint.
Bruh.
What? Are you... Ooh. Common sense is not common in that apartment complex. It's not common. Like, how you gonna sit here and tell me I can't complain about somebody being a Bigfoot person on top of me and they're disturbing me while I'm at work? And I'm talking about, just started from like 9 p.m. and kept going all the way to 9 a.m. And you telling me I can't complain? Okay, so that's exactly why I broke my lease and I had to come back to New York, because I wasn't with nothing. Because they thought they was gonna disrespect me. They thought that they wasn't, no, we not gonna finna have that. So right now, even though I'm back in New York, I'm on a search for another apartment when I have to go back into that office. So it was just, that apartment complex is garbage. Another reason why I moved from Indy back into New York for temporarily was because of the simple fact that it was really no work-life balance. And I know a lot of y'all like, yo, you just started the job, what you mean by work-life balance? Bro, I'm talking about every day it was all work, no life. I'm talking about the only friends that I had were my coworkers. On the weekends when I wanted to just chill with somebody, it would be my coworkers. I ain't have no family out in Indy. Most of my family was in Chicago, 3 hours away. I'm not driving to Chicago every weekend, 3 hours there and then 3 hours back, 6 hours on the road every weekend. No, that's time consuming. So the people that I hung out with were my coworkers. Imagine going to work during the weekday and it's just work, just work, just work. And mind you, I'm new on the job, so I'm just learning the products of the job. I'm learning so much new things. Bro, I'm telling you, the job was like literally like being in school again and learning a whole new topic. That's what the job really is. So we have to study, we have to present, we have training. It's just a lot. So when I wanted to unwind, it was just like, I really wasn't unwinding, because if I wanted to chill with somebody, it would be one of my coworkers. And then if it is one of my coworkers, what do you think we're talking about? Work. So it's literally like, when I left work, I'm still talking about work and still thinking about work. On the weekends when I'm chilling with my coworkers, I'm still talking about work and thinking about work. It literally was all work, no play. Like, all work, no life. And being that we were working from home, I felt like I needed to be able to distinguish where I was sleeping or relaxing from where I was working and actually doing productive stuff, if that makes sense. That line, that distinction was blurred. On my couch, I'll be sleeping, but I'll also be studying, but I'll also be working. In my bedroom, if you guys seen in that apartment tour, my empty apartment tour, you guys seen that my workstation was in my bedroom. Imagine you laying on your bed, but you see your laptop's there. You just like, damn, I forgot to do this thing at work. You get up, you're at your computer. I was literally doing this from 6 a.m. to like midnight. It was crazy. So that's exactly why I said there's no work-life balance. And to be honest, I know y'all are like, oh, you could have made friends out there. Nah, because this leads me to my next point, which is another reason why I left there is because multiple people have told me there's certain places I can explore and venture off to in Indiana. I didn't say Indianapolis, Indiana, the state. You gonna tell Dora to explore, she can't go explore? So why is Dora there? Let that sink in, like seasoning. Because because this is honestly what I was going through. I literally had multiple people tell me, you can't venture off into different neighborhoods because you gonna be looked at like you're crazy and you're gonna really feel unwelcomed. So you gonna tell me that?
Bruh.
Oh no, I really need to dip up out of here for the time being, because at the same time, it's just like, it's a new place. And whenever I go to a new place or travel to a new place, it's just like, I wanna see different places within that area, within that state, within that neighborhood. I couldn't do that. I just felt like so closed off. Like, because I was in an apartment that I didn't really enjoy. Two, when I wanted to have enjoyment was always at the same place. It was always at the mall up the block. And I didn't just want to go to the mall up the block or the mall in Castleton. You feel me? I wanted to go to like Topgolf. But with Topgolf, you need to go with people. You feel me? So who am I going to go with? My coworkers. So at the same time, you get it. It's just kind of like a rippling effect of stuff that just is like, that was just happening. And me being like a new hire, I just feel like I need to just take it day by day. And I feel like just being back home in New York for the time being, temporarily, is what's keeping me on track and keeping me level-headed. My mental health is better back in New York. I just feel like it was just a lot that I was going through for those past couple of months that I was just like, okay, like, you just need a break from that place for a minute. But when you go back, you're gonna be back and you're gonna be better. And that's on period. You feel me? When I go back to Indy, I know what and what not to do. And don't get me wrong, there's stuff that I really do love about Indy that I miss about Indy. Like the parking, bro, trying to find parking in New York is ridiculous. Being able to walk into a store freely and walk out. New York, you gotta wait in lines. There's stuff that I loved about Indy, and that's why I am going back to Indy, you feel me? Just being in the Midwest is different. I was actually born in Chicago, which is 3 hours away. So just gotta go back to the roots. That's it. Once again, I am in New York temporarily. I'm not gonna be here forever. I'm going back to Indy when they do want us to go back. I don't know if I mentioned this, but earlier when I was back in Indy, so I told you guys we take tests. I was studying for my SIE security industry exam. When I was in Indy the first time, I failed it. I literally failed with a 65. You need a 70 to pass. Let me tell you something. In college, a 65 is passing, so I did pass the test. But you know what? I ain't passed with the passing grade. So basically, I felt like after I failed that test, I was like really in a funk. And then I came back to New York, I took the test and I passed. The rebound from when you fall is better than anything you can experience on a job, because I felt like before I was so afraid to fail. So when I failed that exam, that thing brought out a beast in me, to be honest. I was not playing. I was like, you know what, I don't know what it is, but I ain't gonna fail this exam again. So I passed it when I got back to New York, and I got 2 more tests to take. So let's just pray for me. I love my job and I love what I do right now, and I'll try to find ways where I can incorporate what I learned on my job to my YouTube channel, because they're 2 different fields. I'll try to see how I can incorporate that into my YouTube channel. But for the time being, I'm back in New York. All my friends that's watching this, you better link up with me before I return back to Indy, because when I went back to Indy, he was like, oh, Toyosi, we miss you. I'm back and I'm better. What's good? What's poppin'? You feel me? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely comment down below what you guys would actually like to see me do in Indy when I get back to Indy. Like, what do y'all want to see? Because I feel like when I get back to Indy, I'm actually gonna go explore. Who gonna tell me not to explore? Handle me? Who gonna handle me? You feel me? Thinking he's a player, he's a member of the team. Period. Let me stop playing with y'all. Definitely like this video, and y'all know the vibes. Subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I told y'all, it's up in this stuff from here in 2021. So make sure y'all tap into the next video, because it's about to be juicy. Alright? Bye.